Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We do have seats up here. Anybody back there wants to sit down? Wow, look at you guys hustle for those seats. So, by way of introduction, I'm Tom Rosztoczy. I am the president and CEO of Stotz Equipment. If you don't know, we are a third-generation business. My grandfather started us back in 1947. My brother Rob's here, he worked with us, and then we've got a little brother Teddy that works with us too. I get a lot of questions on the name, and so just to save all of you the hassle of asking me if we are talking later today, I'll give you a quick lesson. It's pronounced Tom. All right, so Elaine asked me to spend a few minutes this morning talking to you kind of about the why. You're going to spend the whole day after this learning about cool stuff that your peers are doing, cool things that we're doing. Elaine thought it might be good for me to talk to you about why we're doing this, because I really do think we have a great partner, obviously, in John Deere. I wouldn't choose to be partnered with anybody else in this business if I had the choice. But we're doing some things at Stotz that not every John Deere dealership is doing that I think really differentiates us from our peers. And I hope, and our intention is, that the combination of us and John Deere Company really differentiates us from everybody else in the marketplace. So I just want to explain to you kind of some of the things we're doing and why we're doing it. And to explain the why, I have to kind of explain to you who we want to be or who we think we are as a company, because that will kind of help you understand our why. So our why starts with our purpose statement, which is creating a better life for our families, communities, and those connected to the land. Obviously, those connected to the land would be you, our customers. And I'm going to talk most about that today, but I'm just going to touch on the first two, because we do take this purpose statement very seriously. We take it so seriously we put our money where our mouth is. So as an example, we have a program where we tie our profitability to giving money back to our employees and giving money back to our communities. For 2022, last year, and for 2023, this year, that's going to add up to be a total of millions of dollars average per year that's going back to our employees, and millions of dollars average per year that's being reinvested in our communities. When I talk about giving money to the communities, basically the way that program works is we have a pool of money. It gets spread out amongst our stores, basically based on size. So the biggest store gets the most money, the smallest store gets the least money. But it's left up to the employees in that store what they want to do with it. So our objective is we tell them we want you to be doing good things in the community, but it's to be good things that you think are important and you value as employees of that store. So we have helped last year and this year all kinds of really cool organizations. I'm not going to name any specific ones, but things like homes for abused children, homes for seniors, veterans programs, schools, parks, FFA programs, tech schools, you name it, we've probably helped it. If you're curious about what we're doing there, I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but if you're curious about that, feel free to talk to any of your Stotz folks, because they should know what's going on in their stores. If for some reason you have a particular charity that you are passionate about and you think we would be interested and we can help you, also feel free to reach out to your Stotz folks and get in front of those employees and let them know what you're interested in. All right, so that's how we try to live up to our purpose with respect to families and community. Let's talk about how we try to do it for those connected to the land. Well, first, I got to cover our core values. Quality, integrity, loyalty, caring, community. And our vision is to be the best equipment dealer in the world. And our difference, which is how we present ourselves to our customers, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, we're here to make your life easier. And we're trying to do it 4 ways: long-term relationships, flexible solutions, uptime availability, and by minimizing customer effort. So it's really these things, this value statement collectively, the purpose statement all the way through to the difference statement, that actually drives what we do. So these aren't just words. We didn't just make them up and hang them on a wall. We talk about them every day. We think about them every day. And this is our why as a company. And so this is why we are trying to do the things that we're doing today in precision. All right, so let's get specific to precision. And before I do that, I should say we aren't just trying to do cool things in precision. We are trying to do cool things in sales, parts, and service too. I'm not going to talk a lot about those investments, but we are investing in new facilities, new service departments, service trucks, larger parts inventories, training for our sales folks, training for our whole staff. So we're making investments in all the departments, but you guys are here to hear about precision. So in precision, we're focused on three things: people, technology, and data. You saw the team that Lane introduced to you first thing this morning. That team gets bigger every year. As an example, in American Falls, last year, we had 3 precision folks on the team. This year, we've got 5 precision folks on the team, going into spring for American Falls. It's more than just a number of people, though. So we think about our precision team different than most of our peers do. Most of our peers think about precision as a technical thing. Like, you have problems with your technology, we send somebody out to fix your technology. We think about it differently. So to me, I'm going to use Lane as an example, which is scary. But he's sort of, in my mind, a poster child of the kind of person we're trying to hire into our precision team. So Lane's background was as a service technician and a field technician. He was a great technician. So he is technical. But he also loves technology, like computers and software and electronics. He's got a gift for that. He also has a gift for understanding data and working with data and doing spreadsheets and working with databases. And he has the ability to understand all that data and bring it down into something meaningful. And then he has the ability to actually talk to you about it and explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you. That's a really unique combination of skills. There's not a lot of people that can do all those things. But those are the kind of people we want standing up here in front of you. That's what we're trying to attract in our precision department. So we're attracting, I think, a different kind of person. Let me just go on to this next slide here. So I talked a little about the team. One of the problems, one of the good things for us in our business with respect to attracting people like that into our precision team is the rest of the company starts drooling over the talent they see up here. And so we have a lot of precision folks who moved on in the company, become service managers, sales reps, store managers, etc. And we have heard the complaint from our customers that you guys don't like that much. You build a relationship with a good precision person and then they move on and you have to start over with somebody new. So we made a change just this year. We've added a new tier to our precision team. I'll call it another management level. Marcos in Burley was our first department manager for precision in a store. We've got Clayton and Omar who are acting as regional managers for us for precision. So what we've tried to do is create an opportunity for these really talented people to grow and progress in the company and still be in precision so that you guys don't lose your relationships. Clayton gets promoted, but Clayton's still doing precision. Marcos gets promoted, but Marcos is still doing precision. So that's kind of the structure piece I mean to talk about there. All right, technology examples. What are we doing technology-wise? We are not just supporting John Deere's technology. We are actually inventing and creating our own technologies in an effort to solve your problems. Examples would be yield mapping in hay, yield mapping in potatoes, yield mapping in onions, tracking specialty crops from the field to the storage or the bin or the cellar. And then, of course, doing a lot of work with John Deere, testing the new stuff they're working on. Our challenge as a dealership is, no offense to the John Deere folks here, but they do have a tendency to be focused on corn and soybeans. How many of you in the room grow soybeans? That's what I thought. Nobody. And if you grow corn, it's probably not your main crop. So our world, corn and soybeans don't really apply so much. That's why we are trying to figure out how to bring the benefits that Deere has in corn and soybeans and bring those to the specialty crops, the different crops that we grow here, so that we can all benefit from all this technology and all this data that the corn and beans guys can do. Data. What are we doing in data? Going into this season, we have 3 data analysts on staff whose sole job is to work on solving data problems for our customers in precision technology. I was invited to a John Deere conference last summer to talk about data, because Deere was inviting the dealers that they thought were good at data. And so they thought we were good at data. And I'll tell you that all the other dealers that were there had one data person for the whole business. We have 3 data people just for precision. We have another data person that's helping us in our sales department. We have another data person that's helping us in our aftermarket department. So we've got 5 data people total. But we are all over this data thing. I think that ultimately data is going to be where the rubber meets the road as far as making all this precision stuff work and benefit all of you. That's why we're making those investments. Let me give you some examples. We've talked in the past, I'm sure many of you are part of our combine benchmarking program up in Idaho. We had 45 combines in that program this past harvest. The combines in that program averaged 11 acres per hour productivity. The combines that we had running in the area that weren't in the program averaged 8.9 acres of productivity. One story, we had a customer with 3 combines in the program. 2 of their 3 combines were running at the benchmark, running comparable to their peers. One of them was running a lot less productive. They couldn't figure it out. They had all 3 combines set up the same. They didn't understand why the one wasn't performing. Our precision team went out. They decided it was the operator. They spent 4 hours riding in the seat with the operator. And when they were done, that operator was performing at the same level as his peers. He improved his personal productivity by 80% in that 4 hours of training. 9 acres versus 11 acres. That's a big difference. That's basically like saying I can get the job done in 9 days, or I get the job done in 11 days. I get the job done in 9 days instead of 11 days. I can go pick up 2 days of custom work, and that's basically free revenue to me. This is a big deal. I think, as interesting as benchmarking is, I think the even more interesting thing might be just asking interesting questions tied to dollars or productivity or whatever's interesting to you. So we had a sprayer customer, wound up with a sprayer with command drive and a sprayer without command drive. They weren't sure they wanted command drive, but they had to buy command drive because it became in base, and the new sprayer was more expensive. It was 3.5% more expensive, and so one of their questions for us was, is command drive worth it? I had to buy it. I wasn't sure it was worth it. It was more expensive. Was it worth it? Well, here we go. The sprayer with command drive was producing 162 acres per hour compared to the one without, 143 acres per hour. That's 13% more productivity with command drive for 3.5% more money. That seems like a pretty good investment to me. One more way to look at it. With command drive, they're getting 29 acres per gallon. Without command drive, they're getting 20 acres per gallon. So you're 50% more fuel efficient with command drive. I think it becomes a no-brainer. I think after the analysis, you think, okay, well, command drive was a great investment. Another kind of question. How much does it actually cost me to do this operation? Well, here's an analysis of 4 different machines doing the same thing. How much they cost per hour? It's a big difference. $237 for the most expensive, $150 for the cheapest. Well, wouldn't that make you rethink what machines you're running? If you saw that kind of difference, doesn't that create more questions? What can we do to make the one expensive one run more effectively, or should we trade that thing in and get something that runs better? How much did it cost me for the full operation? So this was a similar question a customer asked. And this is where I think it gets really fun. So now if I know, in 2021, I know it cost me $7.03 to do this operation. Well, what can I do to drive that cost down? Well, there's some things I can do. And in 2022, I dropped my cost down to $5.86. Again, that's a pretty dramatic improvement. In general, what we see when we do these projects is when you start measuring things and benchmarking and paying attention to what you're doing, you can find, on average, about 15 or 20% improvement. That's what we see in the combine benchmarking program is more than 20%. This is more than 15%. These are meaningful impacts. All right, so I told you, the difference, how we present ourselves to our customers is, Mr. Customer, here to make your life easier. Long-term relationships, flexible solutions, uptime availability, minimizing customer effort. If that's who we want to be, I don't understand how we can desire to be that company and not be doing this stuff. Because this precision technology has this written all over it. If I can help you cut your costs 15 or 20%, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a long-term relationship. If I'm bringing you flexible solutions to help you understand how to make one sprayer more effective, if I can sit in your cab of your combine with your operator and help him improve his productivity 80% in 4 hours, that's a pretty darn good flexible solution. That's great uptime availability. That is a heck of a job of minimizing your effort. So I come back to and close with our purpose statement. Why are we doing this? This is why we're doing this. We at Stotz Equipment, all of us in this room and collectively as a company, we are literally here to create a better life for our families, communities, and those connected to the land. And I think this is a tremendous path and opportunity for us to do that. I'm done.